everybody. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. We are here ready to kick some ass, take some names here on a Friday. I'm firing up some computers. Yes, my big one's still acting up, so I'm bringing the laptop up tonight. So what's up, Miss P? Wave that terrible towel for Miss P. A lot going on, my friends. The first day the media was allowed in to see these rookies get moving. And there's a lot that I have to say about them and what I got a good vibe from them. And we're going to talk about that. But I want to remind you all to make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to the show if you're not already. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is very important to continue our journey here as a community all together. We truly appreciate all of you for doing all those things that you do for us. Super chats are always welcome, and that gets your comment instantly read. Also, make sure you get your membership, 99 cents a month. Always be 99 cents a month. But we are going to dive in here, guys. And again, I'm getting a different computer fired up. So once that gets going here, I'll be able to get the comments a little bit better. What's up, Daniel Barry? What's up, Daniel Warman in the house? Good to see you guys. Got it. Yeah, guys, so forgive me. We're getting it going here. I tried to fix this one. I don't know what's going on with it. It's like I need to hard restart it or reset it, man. It's a big computer. It's a pain in the ass. So, we'll get it, but no big deal. But we're going to talk about all those things, man. And I want to talk about a big thing. Has the Steelers done enough here this offseason? That's something that is the question here as we basically start summer. That's when I know summer is really about to kick off, is when we see the rookies in the building in the Steel City. That's when I get that summer feel. That's when I start to feel like, hey, things are about to be hopping here. So, that's what I want to talk about. Have they done enough? And are they going to do more? Or are you content with what they got? And could they really be pretty damn good without it? Or are they going to kind of suck? So we're going to talk about all those things. What's up, Tom? Hey, no party like a daddy party. Ford. Aaron Derrick, what's up? Wow, I actually made it on time. What's up, man? Good to see you. JD in the house. What's big? What's up? Aaron says, Jason, did you see that today in rookie minicamp, Will Howard, they had him working on his reads? Well, yeah, that's going to be a focus, no doubt about it. Pocket presence. And this isn't just for Will Howard in particular. This is something quarterbacks work on a continuous basis. Pocket presence, footwork, reading, getting through your progressions. Those things are a constant progress, work in progress. Those things never stop. And that's going to be no different for Will Howard at all. Hold on, guys. I have a rude son that's interrupting me. Can I go to Jackson's house? No, you're not going nowhere right now. I'm on go. See ya. Sorry, guys. My kid knows that I'm in here. Got to be rude. But anyway, it is what it is. Can I go here? Can I go there? No, Dad, the taxi cab driver, is not in business right now. The Uber driver is out of service right now, my friends. But those quarterback things, they're always going to be in progress, man. And those things will never stop. The learning will never stop. But I have some real interesting things in my eyes that I don't know if many people were even paying attention to, but I was. And it's things that I pay attention to every single year, every single time rookies come into the building, and I don't always get this vibe. And that is being humble and being guys that speak well, are well spoken. That is a big, big thing, guys. I don't knock anybody. I don't try to just beat people up because they ain't the best speakers out in public. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about well spoken in terms of manners, respect, and they sound like they got a fucking brain cell or two. That's important, guys. This is very important. And what you heard from a lot of the rookies that you got to hear interviews from that I know are all over YouTube, that I know you got to hear interviews from, Caleb Johnson, Derek Harmon, Will Howard, to name a few. You heard something from them. They all sounded super intelligent. They all sounded very smart. They all sounded like they were very well spoken and that they knew how to act in public, my friends. And that is massive. And again, I don't think enough people take that into consideration. I do not believe that enough of us as football fans, all we look at is how many touchdowns they're going to score, how athletic are they. You don't take into account some of the personal things that have to be right, that have to be okay. And that is being well-spoken. That is being humble. And that's just being able to be in damn public without sounding like a fucking idiot. That's the real thing, guys. I mean, honestly, that has to be noticed. And I think the Steelers did a very fine job of drafting solid young men that are well-spoken and humble. And I think that has to be something in the back of your mind throughout this season and throughout the years to come as you see these guys start to progress and develop as players in the NFL. The National Football League can pick you up, put you in its mouth, chew you up, and spit you out and leave you with nothing. The National Football League can create dreams that you never thought were possible. But everybody doesn't always get those dreams. Everybody usually gets, most guys get that, I'm going to chew you up and spit you out and leave you for nothing. Those are what most of these guys get. So to just see how well-spoken they were and how humble they were, it made me think that these guys got the work ethic that maybe they can have the latter part of that, to where they can achieve some of these dreams. And I know every guy isn't going to play for 10, 12 years. I know that. But, man, maybe you get a solid 4 or 5 years out of some of these guys. And the work that has to be put in and the mind frame that you have to be in just to last those 4 or 5 years is absolutely something none of us will ever even comprehend because we've never done it. But, man, do these guys got to be on their game to just make it that far. And I think these guys that they got in the building have that mind frame, have that mentality, man. And I'm really excited about this class. Truly, truly am. All right, guys, I'm going to bring up some mic drop sports here on the computer so I can get this going, so I can read your comments a little easier so I'm not poking at the phone. But make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. It is a Friday edition here on the show, and we are going to rock through it as best as possible. My voice is still a little raspy, so I want you to forgive me with that. I am sipping some coffee, which sometimes helps my voice a little bit. Just, I don't know. It must be something with the caffeine and the coffee. I don't know. Something weird. It does help it a little bit, though. Maybe because it's warm. I don't know. Who knows? All right, guys, let's smack this up. All right, sorry, I'm bringing this up. Once I bring this up, then I'll be able to go here. All right, Daniel Warman, 2 of Cincinnati's rookies sat out of rookie camp until they get signed. Typical Bengals bullshit. The Steelers had a great draft. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but too, the one thing, Daniel, is you got to have your name on that dotted line. These guys are, they're, I don't even know how you would put it, but their bodies are their temple. They're their investment. They're the thing that's going to, make them money. So they have to be damn sure all their T's are crossed and I's are dotted. That's one thing that we got to give them a little bit if some of these players sit out just until they get signed. And I know it's discouraging, and I feel the same way as you, man. I'm like, shit. Damn, why are these players sitting out? But they got to protect themselves, and they got to make sure that they have all the insurances in the world, that everything's taken care of on the side of all the paperwork and all that kind of shit. Joe. Nope, we won't do that one. Robert Rowe, watching DK Sports earlier, they commented that Howard has thicker legs than Freiermuth. He is going to be very sturdy in the pocket. Yeah, Robert, that is something to be excited about, and I think he will eventually be able to get under center, utilize the play action pass, utilize his legs, and have that steady platform. And I remember talking about that in his pre-draft evaluation when we were going over these guys, and we were talking about them after they got drafted. And I remember in my head, that kept coming up for me. Sturdy platform in the pocket, throws from an exceptional base. And that comes from being big and strong, and especially having those tree trunks for legs, So Definitely that is going to be something very exciting for the Steelers if they can cultivate that talent into something that translates into a Sunday game, no doubt about it. Will Howard, in my opinion, has a very, very sturdy base, and that is something that is going to serve him very well at the NFL level. If you recall when Mason Rudolph was in 2023, how he was big, strong in the pocket, stood in there, even in the face of adversity when people were coming down, breathing down his neck. Even right when he was about to get hit, he was so strong in that pocket at that time that he was able to still deliver the football with force and accuracy. And that's what being big and strong gives you. It gives you the opportunity to be able to stand in there, take some of that punishment, and still be able to get back up from it. Some of these guys that are ultra small and things of that nature, you get worried because they're not able to stand in there like that. The first sign of trouble, they got to go. They got to bail. They got to roll out. And when you're big and strong, you don't necessarily have to. You can wait a couple extra seconds in there to be able to allow things to develop, even though the pass rush is breathing down your face. You got that big, strong platform in order to step up in the pocket to deliver the ball. You got that ability to be able to climb the ladder. You ever hear about them calling, I don't know if some of you have ever heard this, climbing the ladder as a quarterback inside of the pocket? You got to be big and strong for that. You got to be able to do that and have that good footwork as you climb the ladder and slide up into that pocket. As the pocket's collapsing around you, you have the ability to slide up, climb that ladder, and still be able to deliver the football, keeping your eyes down the field. That comes from giving you a little bit of being comfortable, being big, being strong. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I think that is going to serve Will Howard well. It's also going to serve him well when he rolls out being big and strong. Because why? You're able to throw the football. Where does a lot of that force come when you're throwing the football? It comes from your legs and your hips and twisting them. So when you're out on that move, if you're big and strong and somebody's hanging on you, you're still able to get through that. You're still able to get through your hips to throw that football. You're still able to get through there. Why? Because you're big and strong and you can still take some of that punishment, take some of those guys being on you and still be able to do those things. So I'm excited about that, definitely. I'm sorry, guys. I still, the more I look at Will Howard, I just don't understand how he was there in the 6th round. I'm not sure some of these people in their evaluations, man. All right, guys, I'm going to get a drink. Make sure you're double tapping the screen to hit the like button or however you have to do it on your device. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We truly, truly appreciate that here at Mike Drop Sports and Show Steel City Live. If you're not already subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Get a subscription now. Also, become a Mafia member for 99 cents a month. It's a great way. It's a cheap way to support the channel and the work we do here. As we are, again, guys, I got to remind you, we're transitioning into another way to stream onto YouTube. So that's going to be a more professional, more costly venture for me. So any type of support we get from the fan base is greatly appreciated, and it goes directly back into the channel. Aaron Derrick, there's a running back trying out for the team, Trey Surman. I've never seen him play or seen any of his tape. I haven't done enough homework on him yet, Aaron. I will look into him, though, to get a little bit more familiar with him. Some of these guys that are just there, that just, kind of showed up, I haven't been able to get in deep on them yet. But from what I heard, he's a serviceable guy, and we'll see what he can come up with. But if you're a Steelers fan, I don't know why you're not excited about Caleb Johnson. Oh my Lord. He has to be one of the better picks of this draft, man. Wow. That guy is going to be something else. And he's smart and he's humble, and to hear him talk about what it's going to take, in order to be better, staying after practice, working with Jalen, working with Kenneth Gainwell, understanding his blocking assignments. And that brings me to another thing that I'm going to bring up here. We don't want stupid-ass players. What was the theme surrounding these guys over during their media availability? Every one of them you heard. Every one of them mentioned in some form or fashion about being a smart football player and understanding the playbook, knowing the playbook. Guys, that is so important. So very important. That gets you a leg up on getting onto the football field. That has to be executed by these players. And if you are not smart enough to understand what the hell you're doing, you're in trouble from the jump, man. You got to understand. And I got to say, being smart and it's just undervalued at the NFL level. Everybody just looks at the athletics, man. Being an athlete's very important. Don't get me wrong. But you got to have two brain cells to rub together. You got to be able to communicate. You just got rid of a guy that was dumber than a box of fucking rocks. And I'm not trying to dog George. I wish him nothing but the best. I wish him nothing but great things. And I hope he succeeds in Dallas. I hope he does great things. I don't want to wish no ill will on him. But guys, he wasn't the sharpest tool in the tool shed. Let's be honest about it. I mean, we can all sweep under the rug and act like it wasn't important. But when a guy doesn't understand a simple vocabulary word like optimistic, what are we doing here? I mean, honestly, you're supposedly a guy that attended a university, a college. I'm sorry. Yeah, I ain't into it. And I don't like the hood talk either. I don't like that kind of shit. I don't want to hear the slang talk. I don't want to hear that shit. Now, there's settings for that I'm cool with it. But when you're being interviewed by the media, I don't want to hear no slang shit. I don't want to hear it, man. We're not on the block. We're in a professional setting. Now, when we're all hanging out, I use slang terms. I use my hood talk. I do. But I know when to turn it off. I know when to act professional. And these guys seem to know that. They seem to know when to act professional. They seem to know when to turn the slang talk off. When there are times for that. But in front of the media and cameras in front of your face, that's not the time for that. Not the time for it. Tom Ford says the Steelers have 12 draft picks next year. Absolutely. They're not going to take 12 draft picks, guys. I told you guys that yesterday. I want you to all be aware of that. They will not use 12 draft picks. They will not draft 12 players next year. I can guarantee you that. They don't have enough room roster-wise each and every year to bring in 12 drafted players. They just do not do it. They won't do it. They will use a lot of that capital and investments this year, perhaps next year moving up. They will utilize that capital in different ways. Draft picks just aren't draft picks to pick a player. Draft picks can be used in so many different ways to better your roster and definitely can really help you move forward here to get better players. And that's the thing. You have 3 third-round picks? I have 3 fourth-round picks. I'm just saying. Yes, 2 fourth-round picks. Let me take one of those 4th-round picks, and I'm going to pick swap a third with somebody, and I'm going to move farther up in the 3rd round, or I'm going to move back into the back half of the 2nd round, and I'm going to swap those picks around. Now, hopefully, in theory, I can get a better football player, a more talented football player, a more highly touted football player. That's what you're looking for. And another thing, too, when we're talking about these draft picks and things of this nature, you know what's really, really, really nice is that I feel like the Steelers brought in players that understand that the Steelers want to be ultra aggressive, that they want to be ultra physical. And I think that the Steelers really emphasized that in their draft process this year. I think that was something that has been lost a little bit. They're bringing back that physical brand of play, and every player that they drafted seems like a guy that brings back that physical brand of Steelers football. And I think that that's something that's went a little bit under the radar here as of late. You want that physical brand of football. You want those ultra-aggressive guys. You want those guys that are ultra-aggressive and smart and fast. That's what you're looking for, man. And I think the Steelers really put an emphasis on that during the draft process here in 2025. Mark Malone says Howard will stand in there if he thinks he can throw someone open. That's for sure. Aaron Derrick, so you think Dylan Gabriel will get flattened like a pancake this season? I think he looks like Brucey, and I think he just got drafted into an impossible situation. That's just what I feel. So, man, good luck to Dylan Gabriel, but man, he's going to be not in a good spot. What's up, Roast? Robert Road. Mason's legs are not small at all, but Howard's legs are unusually large. Yeah, they're big, man. They are. They are. Aaron Derrick, yeah, Will Howard's got tree trunks for legs. Shane, what's up? He says Patriots suck. Roast, I'm an Eagles fan and I'm subscribed. I appreciate you, Roast, very much. Aaron Derrick, oh, hell no, we don't like the Patriots fans up here. Oh, no, Aaron, we like everybody up in here, man. Every team is welcome, brother. Everybody. No matter what creed, what team you root for, it doesn't matter, man. We're all family here at Mike Drop Sports. We appreciate you all. But now when the lights turn on and the football's snapped and we're between those white lines, yeah, all bets are off then. After the game, we can go back to being cool. Shane says Steelers 11-6, and he said Patriots will go 5-12. That's from Shane Oshway. Aaron Derrick, KJ is my favorite pick. I was nothing but happy when I heard his name. He was definitely surprised. I was definitely surprised he was there. Me too, man. That's why I never brought it up to you guys. I never thought when we were talking third round picks, I never brought it up to you guys because I never in a million years would have assumed that he would have been there. I couldn't even imagine him being there in round 3. It was just not possible in my head. When I evaluated Caleb Johnson, I could have sworn that I saw early day 2 talent, man. But I guess I was wrong. I don't know. But I would have never assumed that he would have been there at all. Robert Rhodes, Surman was a third-round pick out of Ohio State by the 49ers in the 2021 draft. Yeah, I don't know enough about him, Robert. You guys probably know more than me. Shane says, Patriots are jealous. They don't have Will Howard. Yeah, I bet, man. They are, Shane. You're right about that. Mark Malone, Howard is going to have the entire playbook against all possible D's day 1 of camp. He might, man. He's super smart. He is. He really is smart. So we wish him the best with that. And that's awesome. That's an awesome thing to have. Let's keep going, man, down through the chat. Guys, again, I'm on the laptop, so it's jumping around a little bit, so I probably will miss some of your comments. Aaron Derrick, yeah, I'm thinking they'll draft 7 guys and use the other 5 for bartering. Jamal McCullum in the house. What's up, Jamal? After they just destroyed our season, I'm no longer interested in talking about the Steelers. No one knows what they're doing at this point. Let me talk you off the wall, Jamal. Relax, my friend. I love you, brother. I enjoy your comments. Don't bail, Jamal. Don't bail. Don't do it, man. Come back. Come back, Jamal. Get back involved, my friend. Things will be okay, brother. I promise you. You're a smart football fan. I understand why you're pissed. But the guy was a bad seed, and sometimes you get the bad seeds up out of there and make additions by subtractions. And according to Matt Williamson of DK Pittsburgh Sports, also of The Drive, the Steelers Drive show, that podcast that's connected to the Steelers, a guy that's in the facility all the time, George Pickens didn't have very many fans inside that building, guys, including teammates. So that tells you a lot of what you need to know. So it's okay. Pack fan Iowa says, go Steelers, go. Miss Pittsburgh waving that terrible towel for Mason Rudolph. Arm on. Draft Pittsburgh will give away a ranch for a number 1. I don't think the Steelers will ever give away the ranch for anything, Armand. That's one thing I think we disagree on there. I don't think the Steelers will just give it all away. I definitely don't think that they are into overpaying for players or draft picks. That's one thing I think. Pac fan says, LOL, you wish you were a Steely McBeam head. Yeah, man. No, we are. We love Steely McBeam, Pac fan, Iowa. It's okay, man. Packers fans, yeah, you want to be us, but you can't. It's okay. You just come on over, Pac fan. It's all right. I want six top players with those 6 picks. I would love to get 6 good players, man, out of a 12-man draft. That'd be awesome. Or a 12-pick draft. Freddie to Fade, where was the big miss in the draft for the Steelers, in your opinion? The only thing I didn't like, and I don't even necessarily call it a monster miss, I thought they would have been able to pick up an offensive lineman somewhere, just because I don't think their depth is solid enough there. That's where I think that the only thing that I really truly disagree. But I'm a guy that is really part of a small section of the fan base nowadays that believes in drafting big men constantly, guys in the defensive trenches and the offensive line. I think those guys have to be incorporated into every draft that you have, man. I believe in trenches. And if you're not doing that, I think you're going down a bad path. You can never have too many big men. And if you ever have a surplus, and you have the luxury of having a surplus of big men, they are very, very valuable on the open market, and you could get massive return for them. So that's why I always say, you can wish for all the wide receivers and running backs and DBs and all this shit you want. You can wish for all that. But the best picks are those guys that are up front, those guys in the trenches. They're undervalued, man. They're guys that deserve a lot more praise than what they get in today's world. Most fans are all excited about the touchdowns, but those touchdowns don't get scored without those guys up front. Point blank, period. I don't care who you have at quarterback. I don't care who you have at running back or wide receiver. It doesn't happen. The defense, we all get psyched about the sacks or the interceptions. We get psyched about those things. But the nose tackles, the defensive tackles, those guys up in those trenches, those guys in the mud, in the war zone, those guys make these things happen. Those guys get the thing churning, man. And I cannot give enough praise to the big men of the league, of high school, college, youth football. The guys that play in the trenches are the most important players on the football field, in my opinion, and I'm going to always live and die by that. I know quarterback is the most valuable of them all. I get that. But again, big men, that's where my heart is. Now, I don't know enough about the big men to coach them, to the highest level. I can get you started with the fundamentals, but man, damn, I love to be involved with those kids whenever I'm practicing. I feel like whenever I'm out on the field coaching the youth team, that being with the big guys is where it's at, man, because that's where it all starts. And if you don't have those guys right, you're not going to be right. And it's going to be a long haul of a season if you don't have them right. All right, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen. We got to get that like button beat up, man. We got to start hitting that like button. Get that like button going here. It's absolutely free. It costs you $0 to hit the like button. We read your comments, so if I'm reading your comments, hit the like button. Again, it's absolutely free. I make sure you guys are incorporated into the show each and every day, regardless of if you're giving me super chats or not. I make sure that your voice is heard. So go ahead, throw those likes in there. We truly appreciate them and value them deeply, man, very deeply. Gesture Prods in the house. We did that. Gesture Prods says, where were you, Gesture? What happened with getting DK, then trading Pickins and Najee? All we have is DK and maybe A-Rod. Does this mean we need to go 5-12 or 4-13 to get a solid quarterback like Arch Manning? No, you may already have your quarterback in the building, Gesture. Guys, Mason Rudolph is not bad, and Will Howard shouldn't have been drafted that late. But he was. It is what it is. Thank God he was. But in my evaluation, he wasn't a 6th-round quarterback. And I'm not perfect. I've been wrong before. So, but in my eyes, I think the Steelers may already have a guy in the building. They just don't know it yet. But Pickens left for a reason, guys. And you have to start to get this into your heads. And this is not me dogging on fans or trying to diminish your feelings about it. This is no way, and I can sympathize because I was upset about it too. But I'm over it because I understand the bigger picture. The process of eliminating George Pickens via trade was one in which was trying to restore that locker room back to a Steeler way. And I think that had to be done. And sometimes moves like that are necessary, whether we like them or not, whether they even make football sense or not. Sometimes moves like that makes sense in the long run to restore the culture, because culture means more than you'll ever know as fans. Most fans, anyway, won't ever really think of that as culture being something very important. And again, sometimes you have to restore order and restore balance back to your locker room, back to your building. And moving guys like George Pickens, again, necessarily aren't maybe the best football move in terms of an athletic player, but it's a good move long term, and it allows you some flexibility. And I know people were like, all they got was a third round pick for George Pickens. No, they picked swap 2 for a later round in 2027, but George Pickens' value wasn't actual production value. It was potential value. And when you're buying potential, you can't give a first or a second round pick for anybody. Potential isn't something that you buy at a high price. Potential is something you buy at a medium to mediocre type price and hope and wish that it works out. That's potential. When somebody is a major producer, a guy that has massive production, then you can consider paying a first or second round pick for some of those guys, like a DK Metcalf. He warranted a second round pick. Why? Because he's had production. He's proven commodity in the prime of his career. So it made sense. And when you go after a guy like George Pickens, a guy that's only had 12 touchdowns in 3 years, a guy that has only had 1,000-yard season, and the rest were 800, 900, whatever. And again, George Pickens is ultra talented. I wish him the best, but the guy doesn't seem to have 2 brain cells to rub together, and he seemed not to have too many fans inside the building, and that can't be discounted. And again, sometimes you need to restore balance back to the locker room. Tom Ford says, I hope the Steelers take one of their third-round picks and trade for Tyreek Hill. That's another thing, Tom, that, the salary there, that's going to be another heavy salary to absorb. But the Steelers can do those things. But I got to tell you this, Tom. I know we hope that those things would happen, and I could agree with you. That would be exciting, man. I'd be down for that, Tom. But here's something. The Steelers are just not going to do it. That's not going to be something they do. Yeah, they're not. I truly believe this, guys. I don't believe the Steelers make a trade for anybody else in the wide receiver room. Now, I think there's a possibility they trade for maybe some offensive line depth or something like that, but that's even hard-pressed because teams don't trade offensive linemen ever. Because it's a hot commodity. And that's why I tell you, when you have guys at a surplus in a position like the trenches, defensively or offensively, they can demand a high value, man, on the trade market. So those things are good to have. That's why they're so hard to get, man. That's why they're so valuable. But I look for the Steelers to be real comfortable with the guys they have in the wide receiver room right now. And I look for them to maybe pick up somebody out of the free agency market. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, DJ Shark, if he could ever stay healthy. That's DJ's problem. I'd love to have DJ Shark. But is he ever going to stay healthy long enough to play? That's a big one. Tyler Boyd, he's had his issues running his mouth about the Steelers in the media. He turned down the offer last year. It wasn't enough. That situation's a little tense. But again, he is a guy from Clairton, a guy that's played college football in the city of Pittsburgh, a high school football star there. Legend in the Clairton Bears program, one of the most historic programs in the entire nation. The Clairton Bears, home of the champs. They're good. So that's always an intriguing type of situation that you could always say that there's a little bit of a chance that could happen. Maybe even a guy like Gabe Davis, but he's limited a little bit in his route tree. A guy that's a real number 2, a guy that really, what's he got? A go ball? A go ball? He got routes. He could run some routes, but his route tree isn't extensive. He's not going to be a number 1. They gave him the opportunity to be a number 1 down in Jacksonville, and he fell on his face there with that. So it showed what he is, and that is a 2-3 type guy on the depth chart. That is a guy that's awesome when you have other talent around him to take some of the attention away. Then Gabe Davis starts to perform. But we'll see. I think they dip back into the free agency market in the wide receiver room. And I don't see a trade of any kind here in 2025 for the foreseeable future. Now, that's not saying they don't get into the season somewhere and maybe there's some injuries in the wide receiver room. They still have this immense amount of draft capital and they are winning and they need another receiver. That's not saying they don't package some of that up then and make a trade and a deal before the deadline to make that team better, under the circumstance that they may be under or may not be under at that time. So they may be sellers at the deadline. We don't know. But in case they would be buyers at the deadline, that could always be a possibility there. And that would be the only time that I could see the Steelers getting back into the trade market for a wide receiver. And I hate to burst the bubble with most Steeler fans, but guys, that's the reality. And I don't blow smoke up your ass, but that's the reality of this situation. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But man, it's an exciting time, man. Football's back in the air. These guys are getting started. Rookies getting going. The veterans have been in the building working hard. And that's something you really got to start admiring about this 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers team is a group of guys that are there working. And it's noticeable work. Guys that are putting in the time. Guys that want to be there. They're eliminating some of those bad apples. They're trying to bring back that Steeler culture. And that is a real thing. And I know some people will be like, that's corny. There is no Steeler way. There is no Steeler culture. Lies. You don't get 6 Lombardi trophies by not having a culture, an established culture. And the Steelers have that, an established culture that they have to do some fine-tuning with and bring back into the forefront of that building and take away some of the selfish players and move them out and bring in some of those guys that are about the Steeler way and about the Pittsburgh Steelers and not about the name on the back of their jersey. All right, guys, I'm going to get a sip of coffee here as you are going to smack the shit out of that like button because it's absolutely free. It's easy to do. And, again, it's absolutely freaking free. You want your comments read? Hit that up, my friend. Hit that like button up. It's absolutely free and costs you $0. Super chats are always welcome. We've been slow on those lately, but that's okay. Never required. But those are always welcome. And memberships, 99 cents a month, are always welcome, and we encourage you to do so because during the season, you are going to be able to get some cool shit, man. Signed Steelers memorabilia. This is a signed TJ Watt jersey that will be being raffled off. I want to wait until we hit 10,000 subscribers to raffle that off because I think it's a very cool prize. However, it will be raffled off during the 2025 regular season regardless if we're at 10,000 subscribers or not. We're halfway there now, just about to hit halfway, so I think it's possible, very possible. I think no doubt we're going to get it, but we are definitely going to be giving that away. So if you're a Mic Drop Mafia member, that's the only way you can win it. 99 cents a month. And I'm sure the people that are Mafia members now that have been one for a while, they hope you don't sign up because that greatens their chance to win a signed TJ Watt jersey. Also, there's going to be a lot of other sports memorabilia from your Pittsburgh Steelers that's going to be signed that will also be up for auction. And I got a lot of other cool things that are really, really old that I can throw in there that you can't buy anymore unless you buy it from a dealer, a memorabilia dealer. So I'm going to throw some of that stuff in this year too. What's up, Carlos? Mark Malone, yeah, dude. Yeah, the dude had to go. Locker room cancer and going half-ass on the field, no doubt. All right, guys, I got to go down to the bottom of the chat. My computer, like I said, I'm doing it here on the laptop, so it's like skipping around. I'm not getting them all. Jester Prods, I like Roman Wilson as wide receiver 2 or 3 with Calvin Austin at 2 or 3. So maybe we will be solid in the future. Yeah, I think the Steelers have a lot of faith in them. Roman Wilson, again, guys, had a lot of issues without his lack of knowledge of the playbook really hurt him. The injuries really hurt him. a combination of factors. And so far, the word is this year is similar to last year at the beginning when it all started, was that he is a hard worker and he's really shown out. So we'll see what happens. He seems to be really flying around right now. The injuries don't seem to be a concern. And hopefully now he takes care of the intellectual side of the football and gets himself in that classroom working, man. Rod, getting this team ready for Rodgers. That's from Robert Rowe. Gabe Davis is Mike Williams 2.0. Gage Young, what's up? Danny George, I won the last giveaway last year. Yeah, you might have been the last one, man. We'll be doing it again, though. Yeah, we'll be doing that again. I'm going to try to get stuff, like I said, this signed jersey, and I'm going to try to get in my memorabilia box and try to find things that you can't buy. And again, those are brand new things, man. So they might not come in the greatest of shape, but again, most of them are old as shit. So, they're really cool things to have that you can't get anywhere. But we'll see what happens, man. Our giveaways are going to be awesome, and I hope you guys really get involved. Again, also, I'm going to be switching the platform for the streaming. But I am also going to be doing some different things this year in terms of memberships. We're going to have some members-only lives during the season. I don't live stream the games at all, ever. But I'm considering this. If you're a Mafia member, I'm going to consider having the camera set up at the corner of my game room where we watch the games, or in the living room where we watch the games. And I'm going to have that camera set up. I will interact with you guys some, but you'll be able to watch the game with us and enjoy that way with me and my family. And I've always been totally against that, but I think it'll be a cool way to watch the game if you're a Mic Drop Mafia member. Gunja King B, my thoughts on the George Pickens trade. Initial gut check, I hated it. But now the more that I think about it and the more that I weigh all the variables at play, and I just talked about this not too long ago, Gunja, but I'll give you the brief recap of it if you're just joining us so you can get it too. George Pickens was a locker room cancer. He wasn't well liked, according to Matt Williamson of DK Pittsburgh Sports. That was off of his podcast. That's not Jason saying it. I ain't making it up. That's what he said. He said he didn't really have too many fans. I don't know as a direct quote. I'm not going to quote him, but basically the gist of it was that he didn't have too many fans in that building, including teammates. So that had to be a problem. And also his lack of effort, his lack of hustle wasn't going to get him paid in the city of Pittsburgh. The Steelers aren't going to pay a guy to go half-ass. The tape's out there, guys. He cost the Steelers in that Kansas City game so blatantly that even if you don't know football, you saw it there. That caused that interception. That safety was supposed to be over-the-top help on George Pickens, but he decided to take his candy ass and go half speed, and that safety knew it, and he studied George, and he knew that he took plays off when it wasn't coming to him. He recognized it, went back up over the top, and Russ put a ball where only Pat was going to be able to get it, and boom, he was there waiting for it and caused an interception. Otherwise would have been a touchdown on a play that the Steelers have worked on all week in practice. So, hey. But George had to go. And sometimes addition by subtraction is what you have to do to get the balance back inside of the building. And however sad that may be, however frustrating that may be, it's just what it is. But that's my thoughts on it. Daniel Warman, as a Bengals fan, I have to buy a new TV every football season. Maybe this year will be different. Daniel says, I'm smashing that bitch. I'm throwing something through. Get yourself one of these, Daniel. I just made a flag. It's BB's, man. It will break your TV, but just toss it up in the air or something. Throw the flag. Try to find some other way to get out your frustrations. Daniel, I wanted to ask you, email me, man. I thought you said something about charity, about a jersey or something. If you email me, if you have a charity, I'll figure a way out to get you guys something cool. Let me know if that's what you were talking about. I don't know if I just misinterpreted what you were saying, or if you were just generally saying it. But if you're involved with something, man, let me know. I'll do my best to get something your way, man, whatever that may be, but something cool. Mark DeMoss, we maybe got a steal from Howard. Met a guy from Ohio State that said he was legit. Nice to see we're cleaning up the locker room. Lucky to get a third, in my opinion, but worth it to get GP gone. Um, it's all right, Mark. You're good, man. Yeah, no, thank you for the comment too. I agree. Big G, he was in here the other night. That's who I was thinking of when I was talking about somebody that knew the program at Ohio State. If you go over to Steelers Almighty, Big G's over there with Big B. They do the big show together. So Big G, I guess, has connections to the Ohio State Buckeyes program. In some way, shape, or form. I don't know exactly how he has it, but he was saying about some of the players too. So it seems to be a real theme that guys that are connected to the program or have intimate knowledge of that program seem to really give these guys a lot of high endorsements. And that's really, really good because some of these people that I'm hearing it from, like I said, Big G had it, those guys, you respect their opinion. Why? Because they're fair usually. You know, that when they're on there on YouTube or something talking about these players, they're usually really fair with their evaluations, and they're not gonna just tell you something just to tell you to prop their player up that is on a team that they root for. So that's something though. When they give them ringing endorsements, then that makes that mean something. So that's really encouraging to me and really exciting if you're a Steelers fan, considering you got Jack Sawyer in round 4, you got Will Howard in round 6, and that's exciting when people are really, really high on them that actually watch them play football on an intimate basis. And when I say intimate, I mean week in, week out. Looking at this team, they love that team. They love the players. They know all the guys on the team in terms of their name, where they play. They know a lot about that team. It's like you're a fan of the Steelers. You know a lot about the Steelers. Again, when somebody is telling you that and they're telling you some of the things they're telling you about these guys, some of their character, how high their character is, how high their motor is and work ethic, how smart they are, how much they just love the game of football, how happy they are to be in the National Football League, especially with the Steelers. It's just really, really exciting, man, and definitely really, really pumped up to hear some of these ringing endorsements that's been brought in by some people, a lot of people that I trust, no doubt about it, when it comes to talking football. Armand, a third rounder for Pickens, a pretty good trade for the Steelers. Yeah, he wasn't worth anything more. That was as high as you could get. And again, I said it why, and nobody wants to hear this. A lot of fans don't want to hear it. Production is what you're paying for. Potential, you cannot pay big money for, guys. You just cannot. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat here on Steel City Live. Only here on Mike Drop Sports. We truly appreciate you guys diving in with us each and every day. Thank you very, very much. And again, like, share, subscribe, all that good shit as we are diving through yet another show here on a Friday. Super chats, memberships, always welcome. Thank you. We appreciate those. But we're talking a lot about have the Steelers done enough this offseason. I got to say, the answer has to be a giant question mark because there's a lot there that has been done and a lot has been changed in terms of this roster that you just can't get a feel for it until you get to see these guys play football and put some pads on. It's going to be really difficult to evaluate it. So far, I got to say this. I like what I see because I like the way these guys are speaking in the media. I like the way that the pictures you're seeing of them in that building every day working. And it's not just a guy or two. It's a bunch of them. From the DK Metcalfs down to the bottom, man, to the guys that just got there, So those things are encouraging, and that's why I keep emphasizing this. The way the Steelers have navigated this offseason is trying to rebuild that Steeler culture, and that's what I think we have to be most concerned about when we're looking at this team and whether or not we can say that they've improved or they've not. And I think definitely. Dwayne, NBA payoff projection, NFL payoff production. True. I agree, Dwayne. NBA does. Yes, I agree. That's a good comment, Dwayne. No doubt about it, man. And you can't pay off of when you got this is why, and Dwayne's comment's absolutely true, and it's right and it's accurate and it's a good comment. When you're dealing with an NBA roster, what are you dealing with? 10, 12 guys, something like that, whatever. Off the top of my head, I don't know exactly how many players are on an NBA team, but vastly less than what's on an NFL team. When you're looking at an NFL team, you have an active game day roster of almost 53 players. You have a practice squad. You have guys that are, on futures contracts. You have all this front office staff. You have big coaching staffs. At least most teams do have big coaching staffs. You have tremendous overhead in terms of players and their investment. And your investment in those players. So that doesn't give you the luxury of just saying to yourself, man, that guy, he could be good. Let's pay big dollar for him. Let's spend high value draft capital on him. That doesn't work. And the Steelers have done that. And that's maybe why they're in the position that they're in. And that may be the sad reality of all this. That the Steelers just are starting to wake up under Omar Khan. And they're not doing that anymore under Omar Khan. I felt like during the last part of the Kevin Colbert era, it almost felt like the last decade of the Kevin Colbert era, that the Steelers drafted a lot off of potential. And just saying to themselves, well, there's flashes there. That guy could be good. Let's go ahead and draft him in the first round. And if he hits, we'll look like geniuses. That's almost the approach I felt like they were taking. Now, it seems like the Steelers are taking the approach of, how much production have you had in college, man? When we turn on that college tape, are you producing week in and week out? Are your numbers good? Are your teammates in love with your production? Do they rely on you? Or are they force feeding you the football on Saturdays? Caleb Johnson's a prime example. The reporter today asked him a question and said to him, everybody knew you were getting the ball. And he said, yeah, we didn't care. We didn't care. We just did it anyway. And that's that tremendous amount of production that guy had. 23 total touchdowns, 21 touchdowns on the ground. Hit a home run with a 75-yard run. Is he going to rip those off in the pros in the NFL? Probably not. Maybe here and there. But he's not going to be that home run hitter. He's going to be a guy that, 25, 35-yard run. Those are going to be nice runs. Those are going to be sick runs. And he should be able to do that regularly. He should be able to be a guy that hits those types of plays on a consistent basis. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying maybe one a game or something, rip off a 20, 25-yarder. So we'll see that from Caleb Johnson. But what did the Steelers see in him? Massive amounts of production. A guy that was there each and every Saturday that they could rely on, that they never shied away from, regardless of the team that they were playing, regardless of the defensive sets they were playing. They kept force-feeding him the ball, and that gives you what? A real sense of comfortability bringing him into the building if you're the Steelers, because he has a proven track record. He is a guy that produces at a high level. There are no question marks with that. None whatsoever. Will Howard, another guy that can produce, a guy that can lead a team, a guy that has led a team to big things, a national championship game MVP. Those things matter, man. A guy that has done it, produced. So that's what you're looking for, guys. When we talk about that and say about production, what have you done? What kind of faith did your team have in you? Are you a guy that's just, yeah, man, every once in a while, man, he'll hit a play and, man, it's awesome. But, sometimes he just falls off the map. We don't see him for a little bit. But, man, when he hits that play, it's great. No, that's not the type of guy you're looking for. You're looking for a guy that's in there every damn down, man, that college team leans on more than anybody. And has played a key role in that. A team leader. That's what you're looking for, man, when you're drafting these guys. Mark DeMoss says, "Do you think Cordell Patterson makes the roster? He's Arthur Smith's buddy, but he doesn't seem very productive, even though they gave him all over the offense, or they have him all over the offense. I don't even see him making the team this year. That's my opinion. I think you have tremendous amounts of talent elsewhere. You don't need him in the return game. He provided you nothing there last year. He provided you nothing in terms of an offensive spark ever." And if he is Arthur Smith's buddy and so-called knows the scheme, he really didn't work well and didn't look like a fit inside of that scheme last year for Arthur Smith. So in my opinion, I don't see him being on this roster. I see the Steelers parting ways with him before long, but we'll see. Oh, there's Big G. What's up, Big G? I just said about you, man. We were bringing something up. Just had a little discussion about like production and shit. Big G says, Sean Gurley, trust me on this. Caleb Johnson equals Sean Alexander. Book it. I hope so, dude. I hope so. I really love Sean Alexander and his running style, though, man. A guy that always had square shoulders, hit the hole hard, man. Just constantly had good vision, quick feet. I loved the way Sean Alexander played football. And he was a guy that you can lean on, rely on, a guy that produced, man, in a big, big way. The only time I really didn't want to see him do well was when he played the Steelers in that Super Bowl. But damn, was he a monster. He was so hard to stop. If the Steelers could get half of that out of Caleb Johnson, they'll be in good shape. What's up, Roberta Campbell in the house? Danny George, what's up, man? Oh, he's talking to Roberta. You were already in here, Danny. I see you. What's up, Metalhead? Okay, I was just making sure. All right, guys, it's a slow Friday, so if you want your comment read, man, put it in there. It's a slower day today. Thank the good Lord. We needed a slow day. I like a slow day here and there, man. We got a little bit of time left. So if there's any other comments, questions, or concerns you guys want to put in here, make sure you do. And again, if you want to be able to find this show, if you're not subscribed, we're not going to be in this vertical presentation for much longer. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to be able to find us and you don't rely on seeing us pop up in the shorts feed on this YouTube vertical presentation. We will be moving to a more steady platform here. I'm in the works of doing that. So that will be soon. Hey, I did get two. I have this, and I think it's going to be a cool addition to the show. And it's going to be hard. I got to find a producer, but I got my little soundboard with all the little sounds. So we're going to be able to do some cool sounds. I already have some dialed up over here that are going to be really cool. Especially, I have one for dumb comments that's going to be absolutely awesome and super funny. So I can't wait to pull that one out. I already made one for dumb comments. What else did I make? I made one for like a good comment, like cheers and stuff. I've done a couple other ones too. I got like a whole bunch of them programmed in there. But it's gonna be cool. Mark Malone, watch old Marcus Allen / Roger Craig and tell me what you see. Dude, Marcus Allen was one of a kind. Tall, lanky guy, but man, was he a beast, dude. I remember him as a child growing up playing ball. You know, was he something special. I love Roger Craig, too. When he was with the 49ers, that was absolutely amazing. Joe Reyes, what are your thoughts about the Steelers draft? I give them, if I have to put a grade, and I don't do grades because it's hard for me to do it. I'll give them a B-. I think that there could have been some things that they did a little differently, but overall, I thought it was really, really solid. I thought it was really, really good, and I'm super proud of what they did. Oh, that breezy. The Steelers should trade T.J. Watt to the Jags for a 6th-round pick and Daniel Jones. Sounds like you're not a Steeler fan. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Mark DeMoss, Sean Alexander, 5'11", 225 pounds. DK Corrick family? I thought it was going to be a new Pickens jersey. No. We have a Pickens jersey. I'll give it away. We ain't going to want it. If anybody wants it, they can have it. Caleb Johnson, 6', 225. Yeah, pretty similar, man. Big G says, same running style, Mark DeMoss. Watched and coached against them both in high school. They are the same dude. Wow, that's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty awesome. Big G, I'm going to have to get you over here to give some of your insight about Ohio State on the show, man. I need to figure out how to find you on here. Or I'll just ask Big B or something. I want to get you so you can let everybody know here at the channel what you thought about your Ohio State boys. I think that's important to hear from people that intimately know them. I think that's something cool. So maybe we'll get that lined up if you ever have time to do it, man. Maybe you can jump over and give the fans a little talk. What's up, Mark Collins? You're all right, man. We're about to end it up, man. It's been a nice, relaxing, slow Friday. I'm actually kind of happy. What I'm going to do after the show is strip down these computers and get everything going. I will say this, too, just for next week and our programming, guys. Next week, probably toward the end of the week, I'll be at Latrobe, Roberta, no doubt. Like I was last year, but it's going to be a lot more content-based this year. I'm going to go up there with more of a purpose. I do always take my kids to have like a family day. My kids are into football, so I do take them, and I'm not going to do much content. You know, I might shoot a short or something when I'm up there doing that. But I am going to take a few days and go up this year on a more professional type level to gather content, try to do some things that are cool, and try to get some cool things for you guys to put out, for you guys to view and stuff like that. So, Cap 10, what's up? Yeah, good stream. Thank you. Football prods, George Pickens left the Steelers. He didn't leave the Steelers. He got traded. He got forced out the door. Sean's been busy. I talked to him here and there. Sean's son started playing football, and Sean started coaching. So Sean's been doing that. But Sean will be back, guys. Family first, so he's got to do that. And he has a different job now, too, that keeps him away during the week. And there's like a 5-hour time difference, so from Hawaii to here. So it's a little bit different. But we'll get Sean back moving on the show. He'll be back, guys. Sean's a mainstay, so he'll be here, especially during the season. Running back Willie Parker, that guy was a home run hitter. Yeah, man. What was that? Is that record still stand? Willie Parker, the longest run in Super Bowl history. Does that record still stand? I'm curious. All right, guys, but we're going to get out of here, man. Again, what I was saying, what I was trying to wrap up, I'm not going to do no more comments. I'm going to try to get through this real quick. Next week, probably toward the end of the week, I should have like all my sets built and everything on the new app that we'll be streaming from. So we'll be doing that. So next week, probably toward the end of the week, we'll be streaming from, it's called EVMUX is what I want to say it is. But I'll share it with you so you guys know. But yeah, I'm getting all that ready. Again, we're going to have soundboard, all that good shit. Hopefully everything will work on the first night and it won't be stupid. I need a freaking producer, man. I cannot find one. Nobody wants to make any money, I guess. But yeah, what's up, Lindsay? What's up, football prod? I don't have Ben in the background, bud. I don't have Ben Roethlisberger nowhere in the background. Ben Roethlisberger is not up here. That's Chuck Noll. That's a bobblehead from like the early 70s, like the Steelers' first Super Bowl year. Yeah, that's Chuck Noll on an old program. I have tons of old programs that was given to me by my friend Boone that I coach basketball with, and his sons and my son's grade. They're friends, but I have tons of old media guides. Again, that was Chuck Noll. That right there, that plaque right there, that thing's super old. I want to say it's from the 60s, but I may be off by a couple years, but it's pretty old. I'm into cars that are mine that I have to fix or something. All I have right now, I sold, we had a Mustang, an old Mustang, a 94 Mustang that was, you could eat off the floor. I sold that. It was all original. That was my father-in-law's when he passed away. I had that. Now we just got a Range Rover Evoque and a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. That's all we got. The small right next to the bottle. Oh, is that Ben? I don't think it is. Hold on. Oh, it is. Good eye, bro. I see you. I did not even know he was there. This was a gift from one of our moderators, Big Russ, Russ Oberstein. He gave us this. He sent this. He sent this flag, and he sent this other one over here. So we'll put that up there. Yeah, he sent that, and he sent I believe, a terrible towel. Yes, this one, I believe. Russ sent. But that was a cool gift that Russ sent. He sent us some Steeler memorabilia, and we hung it up in here. He also gave us that Steelers bear. So definitely that was really cool. But yeah. Hey, Sean, Big G, if you're still out there watching, man, I need to get up with you so you could come on one time here real quick. You don't have to give us a ton of time. And let everybody know about your Ohio State boys. I would love everybody to hear that before the season ends. Or before the season begins. I feel like that's important. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I truly appreciate it. What's up, Big Za? Yeah, we're about to get off, man. 67 minutes almost, or 66 minutes we've been going, so I'm about to get off here. My son interrupted us at the beginning of the stream. He threw me all off. I had all these notes and shit, and I was going to go hard, but, man, he killed me. He killed my vibe, but no, I appreciate it. You a producer, J Hook? Is that what you said? J Hook, if you're a producer, I'll try to find you. Let me write down your name. J Hook, if you would be interested in producing a show, we can negotiate some sort of pay, and I could see some of your work and talk to you, all that good stuff. Make sure we're like a good vibe, and maybe we can make something happen, man. Email me, MikeDropSports@yahoo.com. I'll write you down, J_Hook 412. All right, I wrote that down. Yeah, email me, man. If you can't find my email, it's MikeDropSports@yahoo.com. Email me, man, and we'll get to it. Because I definitely need somebody to help with this and get this going, man. We need to take this thing to the next level. We've run our course here. You know, we've almost made it to 5,000 subscribers. But yeah, I'll tell you the spiel, man. If you're interested, holler at me. But until Monday, guys, unless something happens over the weekend, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.